Hi everybody, I'm Jared Pike. This is Shell Point Today for Wednesday, April 3rd. On today's show, we visit the Shell Point Golf Club, where they are rebuilding all 18 greens on the course this summer. We'll preview tomorrow's big concert with the Carpe Diem String Quartet. And we'll take a look back at the Shell Point Photo Contest, which showcased hundreds of beautiful pictures and quite a few award winners. But first, let's get some headlines from Rochelle Chernowski at the news desk. Rochelle.
Thank you very much, Jared. We have a couple of noteworthy events today. If you're a gardener, then you'll definitely want to attend this morning's Garden Society meeting at 11 a.m. in the Oak Room. Gaz Goslin of Turbin used to be a professional florist, so his flower garden here at Shell Point is quite a sight to behold. Learn all about it and see beautiful pictures at this morning's Garden Society meeting at 11 a.m. in the Woodlands Oak Room. All are welcome. And if vision issues are clouding your life, then make plans to attend a free Health Connection class from ophthalmologist Dr. Michael Collins. He'll be sharing some practical ways to maximize your vision. His Health Connection class happens this afternoon at 1:15 p.m. in the Social Center on the island, and all are welcome. And then tomorrow, it's the music event of April, as Shell Point welcomes the Carpe Diem String Quartet. This dynamic group takes the stage of the church auditorium tomorrow evening at 7:30 p.m. as the final event in our Fine and Performing Arts concert series. To learn more, we talked to Sue Rank, a Fort Myers resident who has followed the quartet for many years.
I'm Sue Rank, and I'm from Columbus, Ohio, and I bought a place at Lexington Country Club several years ago and discovered that most of the cultural things are at Shell Point. So I spend a lot of time here. I have quite a few friends here. I like all music. I'm Welsh, so music's in my soul. Carpe Diem String Quartet is the finest experience in life of music. I have tried for 2 years to connect Shell Point with this group because I think that everyone in Shell Point will love them, and I think that it's a great opportunity for the Shell Point community to have an exciting group. They'll want to have them back many times. I first met them at First Community Church and went to a concert. They are the most exciting group that I have ever met. Once you hear them, they are not only personable because they explain their music, the music to you, so you cannot help but not only be educated, but you become enthralled with this eclectic group. They're exciting, they're personal. Each person is professionally trained and highly trained from the top conservatories in the world. Charles Weatherby is the concertmaster, was the concertmaster for the Columbus Symphony. And he's world famous. They are all world famous musicians. Charles is a graduate of the Curtis Institute of Music. Corinne Fujiwara is a graduate of Juilliard. The cellist is a graduate of Yale, has a PhD, and is on the New England faculty. And I just think once you hear this group that you will want to follow them the rest of your life. They're quite animated when they're playing. They aren't just very staid. They're very, they explain to you what's going on in the music so that when you're hearing it, you have an opportunity to pick up certain things and know what you're listening to. So they educate you along the route, but they're also, they're just full of energy. They have more energy than any group, and they make strings come alive. Classic is their main thing. They do go over into other venues, but they are very classically, because they're a chamber music group, but you would never ever just think they are boring. Their music is not like anything you ever heard. They're very, well, it's like going to a rock concert. I hope that every single person that's at Shell Point of all ages and stages will be able to come out on Thursday, April 4th at 7:30 to experience the best music group that I know of, Carpe Diem String Quartet.
There's another cultural event going on right now at the Resident Activity Center. It's the final week of the 2013 Shell Point Photo Show. These beautiful photographs were all taken by your Shell Point friends and neighbors, and many of them were judged to be the best in their respective categories. At last week's Photo Show Gala, ribbons were handed out, including the first ever Ted Boynton Best in Show Award. Who took home the big prize? Let's find out.
The photographs of the 2013 Shell Point Photo Show were classified in 12 different categories. Here are the ribbon winners in each of the 12 categories. In the category Shell Point Community, the third place photo was Millie Ford's photo, Street Vendor. Second place was Ted Boynton with Macoma Court Swimmers. And first place, Pam Blau with Concentration. In category 2, Scenery at Shell Point, the third place photo is Frank Moore with the photo called Senna. Second place, Judith Krug with A Good Time at Shell Point. And the first place photo for Scenery at Shell Point, Carl Bowser with Follow Your Star. In the category of People, your third place photo was by John Moore, and it was called Schoolgirls. Second place, John Ippenson. His photo was called Buddies. And first place was this photo by John Moore called Vendor at Delhi Mosque. Category 4, Fun and/or Festive Events. The third place photo was by Jane Hoden, and it was called The Pumpkin Patch. Second place is by Kirk Gullidge, called Watch That Turn. And the first place photo in this category is by Dee Whited, called Bringing Home the Bacon, Cuban Style. Now here's an interesting category, Still Life. The third place photo in Still Life was Gene Warden with Morning Shadows. Second place, Patty Waters had this photo called Home for Good. And first place in Still Life is by Dee Whited with the photo Cuban Still Life. The category Nature Elsewhere, that's nature anywhere other than Shell Point. The third place photo is by Gene Warden called Calm, Cool, and Serene. Second place photo by Fran Ippenson, and her photo is called Still Waters. And the first place photo in Nature Elsewhere, Mary Hirsch with her photo Dunn's River Falls, Jamaica. In the category of Travel, we have several interesting photos. The third place was by Frank Moore, and he called it In Flight. Second place by David Marriott. He called it Frank's Office in Virginia City, Nevada. And the first place photo in the Travel category is by Kirk Gullidge, and he called it The End of the Road. We have an Abstract category now. The third place photo in the Abstract category is by Pam Blau, and she called it Overview. Pam also won the second place in Abstract, called Water Wonder. And the first place photo in the Abstract category, Dee Whited again, with her photo Parabolic Reflections. Now we have a category about birds, and it could be birds anywhere. The third place bird photo is by Joan Betts, and she called it Lunch Has Arrived. Second place by Patty Waters, and her photo is called Gray and Gorgeous. And the first place bird photo by John Chamberlain, and it's called Look at Me. Category number 10 is Wildlife Anywhere. And the winners in Wildlife were Don Shore with Do You Have a Peanut? John Chamberlain had this photo called Let Me At Him. And Mary Hirsch with her photo Flight of the Bumblebee. We also had some pet photos. Jan Van Leer had this photo called "Here's Looking at You, Kid." And Patty Waters had this photo called "Marmalade." And in the category of all-time favorites, photos taken anywhere at any time, the third place photo, called "Morning Cleanup," was by John Chamberlain. Second place, John Moore with "Bandoneon Player." First place photo in all-time favorites is by David Marriott with "Decaying Citroen Palace" in Lima, Peru. Now, who won the Ted Boynton Best of Show Award? It was this photo. Dee Whited, with her photo "Bringing Home the Bacon, Cuban Style," won the first ever Ted Boynton Best of Show Award. There were also several collections in the non-juried category that are well worth a visit. So, come to the Resident Activity Center before this Friday and peruse the Shell Point Photo Show.
And now, Jared is here with some big golf news. Jared.
That's right, Rochelle. The Shell Point Golf Club is an incredible amenity, a championship golf course right in your own backyard. They've been serving Southwest Florida for more than 12 years, and in that time, the greens have taken their fair share of punishment. Now, as a result, this summer, all the greens on the course are going to be completely rebuilt from scratch, which is an incredibly involved process. So a lot of the course will be shut down over the next few months, but the end results will be well worth it. Michael Raber brings us the full story.
There's going to be a golf course greens renovation this summer here at Shell Point. Generally speaking, greens have a shelf life of between 10 and 15 years. Like we said, our front 9 greens are 12 years old, so they're pretty much, they're old in terms of green life. The first thing they're going to do is they're going to core out the green as we know it. It's like I said, it's like gutting a pumpkin. So they're going to take a big scooper, the backhoe, and they're going to gut the green. They're going to take all that debris and they're going to move it off property because that's bad, wasted material. Then they're going to come in with a bulldozer and they're just going to level everything flat. Then they're going to come in with more dirt and more earth, and then they're going to shape the new golf hole. They're going to shape the green, they're going to shape the bunkers, they're going to shape the mounds, they're going to shape the swales, they're going to shape the whole process. Then they're going to come in and they're going to start building the green. They're going to start off with 4 inches of hard rock. Then they're going to put 12 inches of material on top of that hard rock. Then they're going to come in, they're going to fill the bunkers in with brand fresh new sand. Then they're going to come in and they're going to sod roll all the grass around the green. A farm up in Georgia literally raises grass called Paspalum. Paspalum Platinum is the new strand of Paspalum. It's the most newest strand out there. There's only one course in Naples, Old Collier, that has it. We're literally going to be the second golf course that's going to get Paspalum Platinum. It allows you to water with brackish water, which we have here. Being so close to the Gulf, we have high salt contents in our ponds, and that allows the brackish water to go on the grass, and the grass will respond to it. We go up, we pick our plots of grass where we want the grass to come from. They bring down the plugs, the little circle hole plugs. We drop them in on that fill on top of the greens, and then we watch the pods connect to each other, and the green forms into a green. Once the trucks leave and drive out of here on June the 10th, we need 20 to 24 weeks of growth. That allows the grass not only to grow up, but to connect to itself and kind of mesh together and fulfill the green. We don't want to open up the greens with 80% coverage or 70% coverage. We want a full 100% coverage, and the best way to do 100% coverage is to allow that full time. So we're going to start the process on April the 15th. We'll start by closing down the front 9 and doing the front 9 greens. April the 30th, we'll start on the back 9 greens. For about 3 weeks in there, between April 30th and May 19th, we'll be totally shut down. May 20th, we'll come online on the front 9 with temporary greens. June the 10th, we'll come online on the back 9 with temporary greens. The reason we're going to keep going with temporary greens is mainly for resident satisfaction. We're here as an amenity for the residents, and we want to make sure the residents have that amenity. They're able to get out of the house, come out, play golf. So we're going to provide them with a temporary surface. It's not ideal, it's not going to be well manicured, it's not going to be well groomed, but it does allow them to come out, strike the golf ball, play, enjoy the camaraderie with their friends, and have a good time in the interim of the new grass growing in. October the 1st is a proposed open date. We're looking for 100% coverage for the new grass, and we feel that by October 1st we can have 100% coverage. You can do a project cheaper, quicker, easier. However, the cheaper, quicker, easier way involves you doing it every 3 to 5 years. You're going to have to keep redoing the process. We're doing our process to what the USGA recommends. USGA recommends this is how you rebuild a green, how you redo the greens. This is going to get us maximum life out of them, probably somewhere in the 15 to 20 year range where we'll have out of these new greens. Every green is going to be resized back to its original 5,000 square feet. Greens are going to be re-sloped, recontoured. Bunkers are going to be reshaped, moved, improved, taken away when they're not needed. It's not just the green, it's the whole green complex. The collars, the fringes, the bunkers, the greens, I mean, everything is going to be, it's going to be 100% redone. You're going to see a totally different green when you're done. This is an exciting thing for the golf course. The golf course is going to be remarkably better. It's going to be 10 times better next year at this time. Throughout the course of the summer, we're going to continue this process. We're going to show you the process of the growing. We're also going to try to conduct golf course tours to show you how the process evolves. It's an ever-evolving process. It's just not boom, it happens, we have new grass. You know, the process evolves, and it's a major undertaking. It's a major project for a golf course to redo their greens. Stop in the golf shop or call us at 239-433-9790. We'd be happy to help you out.
Michael also wanted us to remind you that the driving range, the putting green, and the chipping green are all still open over the summer, so you're always welcome to come down and hit a bucket of balls to keep that swing in line. Plus, if you're a member of Shell Point Golf Club, then you also have reciprocal memberships at many other courses in the area. And they've got more details about that at the Pro Shop. So, whether you play on the temporary greens here or our reciprocal courses elsewhere, Shell Point Golf Club is here for you all summer. Just give them a call at 433-9790. Now, it's time to cover all of today's happenings, followed by your menus and Village Church connections.
Welcome to the Happenings segment of Shell Point TV. I'm Bev Chandley along with Suzanne Savada, and we're going to go over the activities with you today, April 3rd. We're going to start at 7:45. The men's Bible study will be meeting in the Osprey Room on the island. And at 9 o'clock, Jurassic Travel will be in the Egret Room. They'll be there from 9 to 12. Also at 9 o'clock, we have the men's match play, tennis going on at the Woodlands. Also, we have a 9 o'clock resident council meeting. That will be in the Grand Cypress Room. And our last 9 o'clock activity is Watercolor Group with Phil Hilton. They'll be down in the tunnel in the art studio. 10 o'clock's the time for the ladies' Bible study. They will be in the Osprey Room. Then we move to 10:15, where the model yachts will be sailing at the Woodland Commons Lakes. At 11 o'clock, the Shell Point Garden Society meeting. They'll have a speaker, Gaz Goslin, will be presenting this day. They'll be in the Oak Room. At 11:30, we have a Health Connections class. This one's agility and flexibility. That'll be in the Health Club. Currently, that's full. That's our morning lineup. Here's Suzanne with your afternoon.
The afternoon will begin at 1 o'clock with chess taking place in the Library Lounge on the island. And at 1:15, we have a Health Connections, modern ways to maximize your vision in the social center on the island. Sign up is required. At 1:30, the Cancer Support Group will meet in the Osprey Room on the island. And from 1:30 to 3:30, the Model Train Room will be open in the tunnel on the island. At 2 o'clock, pickleball will be played out at the pickleball court on the island. And at 2:30, Jazz and Stuff will be playing in the Grand Cypress Room at the Woodlands. 2:45 is the time for Healing Journey to meet in the chapel of the Village Church. At 3 o'clock, Bible study will take place in the community room of King's Crown. And also at 3, we have a Health Connections Pilates stretch in the Health Club on the island. And finally, at 3 o'clock, we have the Memory Care Group meeting in the 3rd floor craft room of King's Crown. At 4:30, indoor bocce will take place at the Health Club on the island. And at 5:45, church choir rehearsal will take place in the choir room of the Village Church. The day will end at 7:15 with prayer and praise with Andy Hawkins, and that'll be in the Village Church on the island. Thank you for joining us here today, and we look forward to seeing you back here on Thursday.
Menus for Wednesday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is braised pork with apples and cabbage. For dinner, it's the pasta buffet for $11.95, and the soup is minestrone. In the Island Cafe for lunch, enjoy an alpine chicken sandwich with chips for $6.95. The dinner special is fried shrimp for $7.95. Dinner specials in the Palm Grill on Wednesday are steamed striped sea bass for $16.95 or grilled sirloin for $15.95. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
This is the Village Church Connections. Welcome. I'm Andy Hawkins, the senior pastor of the Village Church, and I'm here with Lee Emmerich. And Lee is involved in the South Fort Myers Food Pantry. And we have some exciting opportunities to contribute to the needs of the local area with respect to food. And so, Lee, welcome. Welcome to the Village Church Connections.
Thank you.
And so this is the South Fort Myers Food Pantry. Tell us a little bit about that ministry.
Okay, well, the Village Church, and in cooperation with Shell Point Retirement Community, is one of 13 coalition members that is involved in the South Fort Myers Food Pantry. And the involvement is basically raising funds and raising food for the food pantry. Mm-hmm. We get a majority of our food allocation from the Harry Chapin Food Bank on Fowler Avenue.
Okay.
Cash contributions go to Harry Chapin, and they basically wind up in our account to, if you can understand it, to buy food for South Fort Myers Food Pantry.
And I understand that the Chapin Food Bank has some wonderful opportunities to get really good deals on the food that they purchase. Is that correct?
That is correct. Basically, for every dollar that people contribute, they can buy $6 worth of food. Wow. So it's a 1 for 6 thing, or a 6 for 1 thing, however you want to have it.
That's fabulous. Yeah. Now tell us how you got involved in the South Fort Myers Food Pantry.
I got involved several years back when I was on the Deacons Board.
Okay.
When this became a mission for, or was already a mission for, the Village Church. Mm-hmm. I became engaged by going there a couple times on Mondays, understanding what it's all about, understanding how it helps people in South Fort Myers, and just saying this is something I want to go forward with.
Yeah. Well, I guess with the economic conditions the way they've been in recent years, this has been a very important aspect of how we can contribute to the needs of our local citizens.
Absolutely, and I want the people of the Village Church and Shell Point Retirement Community to understand how well we are, number one, respected and received for the work that we do and the contributions that we provide.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Now, there's an event coming up, a food drive. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, tell us about that.
We're having a spring food drive from April 8th to April 14th. Mm-hmm. It's being kicked off with the spring concert with the Shell Point Singers on April 8th. We're going to have 4 opportunities for people to provide food for the food drive, and that would be at the church auditorium, the Woodlands, the Island Service Desk, and Eagles Preserve Health Club. Okay. So people could drop off items at any of those places and stuff like that. They'll be collected, and I will personally see that they're distributed or brought to the food pantry on Monday, April 15th.
Now, that's fantastic.
Tax day.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great way to think of it.
Right.
Yeah. So when people can bring not only food, and what kinds of food products would they bring?
I was at a board meeting on Tuesday night because I'm on the board of directors. They have a real need for tuna.
Okay, interesting.
Tuna, peanut butter, any canned goods, canned foods, any kind of canned foods that can be preserved and stuff like that are welcome.
Okay, so things that have a shelf life for a while.
Correct.
Great. That's
Correct.
Great. Now, can they also bring cash contributions?
Yes, cash contributions could be brought. If you're going to write a check, it should be made payable to the Harry Chapin Food Bank. Okay. And on the memo line, it should say for the South Fort Myers Food Pantry. Okay. That way it will get applied correctly. And cash contributions we'll handle the same way, but either way, we want to be sure they get credited directly to our account.
That's fantastic. And so the big kickoff kind of thing, there's a concert coming up on Monday, maybe Monday, April 8th.
Monday, April 8th, that's correct.
Monday, April 8th. And so that's the Shell Point Singers, which is the community singing organization, and certainly if our viewers aren't in the Shell Point Singers, they know people who are in the Shell Point Singers.
Correct.
So they'll certainly want to come to that concert. It's a fantastic opportunity, so they can bring food or bring their checkbook, whichever they can, to really help support the ministry of the South Fort Myers Food Bank.
Right. And I just want to say that in the past, the people of Shell Point Retirement Community and the Village Church have been so generous in their donations and contributions and stuff like that. I want to thank them for that.
Absolutely.
And I want to ask them to come forward as much as they can for this food drive.
Yeah. And I understand as well that this is not just a Village Church event or activity, is it? It's actually a Shell Point community event as well. We're partnering with the community to provide these kinds of ministries.
That is correct. And that's the first time we've kind of done this, so I'm anxious for the results, and I know the people will be as generous as they have been in the past.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Well, that's terrific.
Right.
Well, Lee, thank you for being with us today, and we're looking forward to what the Lord will provide and how people will respond to this particular food drive, and I'm sure that people will be just as generous as they have been in the past.
And I know there will also.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, thank you for joining us with Village Church Connections. We hope to see you soon in the ministries of the Village Church.
We're glad you joined us for today's show. Tune in tomorrow as Renee Maxwell shares why she has Christmas on her mind.
We'll also talk about astronomy and tell you about a stargazing opportunity happening this Saturday night.
Until then, this is Shell Point Today for Wednesday, April 3rd. I'm Jared Pike.
And I'm Rochelle Chernowski. From all of us here at Shell Point TV, we hope you have a great day, and we'll see you again tomorrow.